What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Racing Dudes Live. It's Magic Aaron, and Mike Somich is finally back with us again. Mike, good to have you back, buddy. We had a good start to the Tampa Bay late pick 5. How are you doing so far?
Live show, huzzah! No? I'm doing better than Joe Rosario, I'll tell you that much. Just going to start out with the bangers, man. He is awful. It's been a brutal day, so he's going to win at least 2 of the next 3 races while we're alive here.
We got horses going to the gate for the Pelican Stakes at Tampa Bay Downs. So if you want, we can jump right into talking about that real quick. Mike, we did cover this, the late pick 5 on the Magic Mike show. We both like the 5 Sibelius in this spot at 9-5. Aaron, did you like Sibelius here?
You know, I think Sibelius is going to be tough. I kind of think Willie Boy is a horse that's going third off the layoff, going to kind of improve today and run better. I think this horse has a chance to pull off the mild upset. If you like Sibelius, can't really, fault you. I think that makes sense as well. I also thought the 10 Gatsby was a horse getting Saez aboard today. I thought that horse might kind of rebound and run well. So I didn't think it was just a single to 5 and move on type of race.
Mike, who else did you want to use here besides the 5 Sibelius?
I think you got to talk about the 7, Uphold the Law. We talked a lot about the 1, Jafaros, to open up the pick 5 here and how he was kind of the up-and-coming horse. Well, the 7, Uphold the Law here, is the up-and-coming horse in this spot. He's run well the last couple races, had a nice race off the layoff last time at Fairgrounds. Now we're shipping in here for Michael Stadium to get Pablo Morales aboard. And if you look back at the numbers that this horse ran late in the 3-year-old season, early in the 4-year-old season, they project to that buyer that he ran last time in 93. And if a step forward off that puts him right in play here, sitting at 4-1 on the board off an 8-1 morning line.
Aaron, did you have Uphold the Law in second?
I did not have him in the second, had him in 4th. So we're pretty similar here. I was the same way. I thought this horse had a shot. I just didn't. I looked at this race and the last race and said, I don't think it's cut and dry for the favorite. We saw a favorite go down last race with Carmel Swirl. I think it could happen here as well. I'm not against the favorite in the next leg, so you kind of had to be against favorites in these first couple, and so that's why I kind of ended up spreading around here.
I also, along with liking Uphold the Law, I like the 2 Pacos Pico. I thought any of his previous races could be good enough here. 3 back, 1 off the layoff with the career best buyer, 2 back. He was 3rd endorsed. Endorsed looked great in the Fred Hooper Stakes at Gulfstream. And then last time out, he ran into Candyman Rocket, who was a big favorite there and already a grade 3 winner. So he's been facing, I think, better horses than he'll see here. I think he's a lot more on par with them. So we'll see what happens. They're in the gate and they're off. Aaron, who do you think might go to the lead here? Because it looks like the 10 is hell-bent on it.
Let's see. I think the 10 will be on the lead and the 6 will be on the lead. Maybe the 5, maybe the 1. That's who I thought would go to the front.
Look at you, Aaron. Just a prognosticator here. I thought the 1 No K No was a little interesting. It's one we mentioned on the show. Didn't end up making the pick 5 ticket, but thought may be able to pick up the pieces here if they go a little too fast up front. Sitting close to the pace than I expected, to be honest with you, though.
Yeah. They're cooking 21-2.
So the 6 has went up there and really pressed this 5. We'll see if anybody can take advantage of it, though. There's Gatsby. He looks like he's going to run big, at least on the turn. We'll see.
Yeah, the 7 here, a little too far back and have to have a monster kick if he wants to get the job done, but starting to get in gear there on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to run out of time, I'm afraid, there.
This is going to get interesting. Let's see if this 5 can finish this off. Turns for home to the lead, but, it seems like he's slowing, but can anybody go get him?
That 10 doesn't seem to want to go after him. I thought the 10 was perfectly spotted there. Boy,
yeah,
we're going to hold on to this one.
I
did not have any of those horses.
I'm telling you, that was a pretty gutty effort from the 5.
Wow.
When you go 43-4 early, it makes it hard to close into it for the horses that are really close by, and just no one came from the back of the pack there. And then that made it just a kind of merry-go-round race there with Sibelius and Dr. Oscar running 1-2.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't have any of those horses behind him. I'm really glad for our pick 5 ticket we got through with that one. That was 21-2 to finish like that. That was a fast race for him to hold on like that. It was impressive.
Yeah, you tipped the hat. I didn't think the 6 would go out and pressure like that. And the 6 looked like a larger horse and had him pinned on the inside, and he was still able to kind of re-rally. Even about mid-stretch, it was like maybe the 10's not going to go by, but the 6 might go by. And boy, none of them could go by. Like Somich said, it's set up for a closer, but maybe there were just not any closers in the race good enough.
All right, let's move on. The first of 3 Kentucky Derby preps, 2 that we'll be covering today. We're going to go to Aqueduct for about 5 minutes to post for the Wither Stakes, grade 3 race, 1.8 miles on the dirt. Looking at the odds on the tote here, if I can pull up the right screen. Even money favorite on Arctic Arrogance, 9-5 second choice on the 1 horse here. That's a little surprising to me. Aaron, what do you think about what you're seeing for this field?
Yeah, I hate that the odds have flipped like this. I liked Hit Show in this spot, but at even money, it kind of does not make it all that attractive. I really thought Arctic Arrogance would still be the favorite, but I guess this Brad Cox runner shipping in has just got enough hype that they're going to bet this horse pretty hard. I mean, at this price, listen, Arctic Arrogance, I didn't pick him on top because he's had 2 golden chances to win at this level and couldn't quite finish it. So I just thought, well, Hit Show will get him today. But the odds don't make you excited.
Mike, what do you think about this?
It'll be interesting to see if this is the actual off odds as well. So keep an eye on the board. Arctic Arrogance a favor in both the daily doubles and the pick 3s. So I would be surprised if this isn't closer to 7-5 both ways when we actually break from the gate. So if you like one more than the other, I wouldn't jump on it or jump on this, assuming you're going to get 9-5 here on Arctic Arrogance. I'm guessing it's going to be basically 7-5 on both the 1 and the 4. Look, Arctic Arrogance is more proven to me. And so if I'm getting the same price on the 2 of them, I like the 1 more. I do think this is a 2-horse race. I don't see a ton of horses that really excite me. I think the way to try and bet this really is to play a cold try. And you put either Arctic Arrogance or Hit Show on top. You put whoever you like in second. I like General Banker in third. I guess you could make a case for Jung Fru in third as well. But I kind of like the 1-4-5 cold try and just see if we can get like 8-1, 9-1 on it, something like that, and get a pretty solid price here, or solid payout for 2 favorites on top.
It's funny, Somich, because we were sitting here talking about the Jerome not all that long ago, and we both said the same thing about General Banker that day too. It's a 2-horse race between Arctic Arrogant and Lugan Knight, and we want General Banker in third. Here we are in the next prep, and it's the same. I'm with you 100%. I think General Banker's the horse that's going to get third, and then you just kind of play around with the top 2.
I'm gonna go 4-1-5 here, despite the odds. It's now 7-5 favorite for Hit Show, the 4-horse, and Arctic Arrogance, 8-5. One thing that I did like is that as we were watching the Jerome Stakes, Mike and I commented about the horse seemed to hang a bit going to mile, and I was like, throw some blinkers on him, see if that'll change it up. So, Linda Rice started working him in blinkers, and the big fat gray horse is, still wearing them today. Maybe his head got too big and they couldn't get it off. But I'm hoping the blinkers help this horse take a step forward to push him over the edge. I like that we're not just sitting back on the laurels for that one. So, but I do like, 4-1-5. I think that's a good spot. What about the 7, Andiamo Firenze? Firenze Fire's brother, maybe 1.8 miles. Is this too far? He'd be better for the Gotham.
7 furlongs is probably too far for Andiamo Firenze at this point.
I think class relief is what we need at this point. I mean, we're going to talk this horse right in the winner circle, maybe, but I just, class relief. That's going to hit him right between the eyes more than anything else.
Yeah, this feels like a horse that got in front of his druthers in that maiden breaker, was really impressive at Belmont, going 5.5 furlongs, and has not faced a non-stakes field since then.
Yeah,
I think it might be time to try and face a non-stakes field at this point. I think Aaron's got a point there with the class relief. And also, love to hear that Linda Rice is watching the Magic Mike show. That's great to hear that she's watching us and taking Magic's advice on when to add blinkers as well.
if the horse finishes off the board, it was not my fault, not my suggestion.
Well, New York bred company for the 7 also might be smart as well. 3 races against New York breds, 2 wins and a close second.
So we've got this is the second of the preps there up at Aqueduct. Where do you think the winner? So the winners stay. You would assume stay up in New York. Do you think this is going to be similar to what we're going to see from the field in that final prep, or do you think we're going to get a whole influx of horses coming in now?
The Gotham, I think it'll be mostly these kind of horses. Maybe 1 or 2 shippers, and then the Wood. I think, look for Pletcher. Look, for him to come up. Maybe Blazing Sevens comes up for Chad Brown. There's going to be some shippers. However, I will say, Cox ships in for this one. If Hit shows the real deal, maybe that quote unquote scares somebody off. We'll see. I'm not projecting that. I like Hit Show to win. I don't think he's going to be a monster in this race, though.
I'm surprised he's walking to the gate at 6-5 still. Like I said, Arctic Arrogance here, the favorite in both the doubles and the pick 3s, but going to go off as your second choice in the race. Remember, NYRA does not allow computer-assisted wagering here in the last 2 minutes, so you don't generally see those massive odds moves that you do see at some other places. So we'll see if the future money is right in the double and the pick 3, or the right now money is right here with Hit Show in the 4.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Where they fall in this race, well, they're off now. Hit Show got a really good break, but he's not a speed horse. He'll sit about mid-pack, and it looks like with the blinkers on, Arctic Arrogance is going to try to go to the front. Yeah,
Andiamo Firenze hung 4 wide there, didn't break completely clean. That was the horse you were probably thinking was going to be on top. This is actually a really nice setup for Arctic Arrogance here to get to the front. And relatively unpressured at this point as well. Prove Right's at 80-1, sitting right outside. We'll see what happens if Prove Right decides to cause some trouble. And it looks like he is now getting within the neck of the lead.
Yeah, he's going to try to force a little bit, but still, I'm kind of with you. It's, I don't know, 23.53 for the opening quarter, going 1.8 miles at Aqueduct. That isn't crawling. Second fraction is going to be really important here. The big thing is Hit Show is well within range. I thought he broke well. He's into the race a little bit better. I don't think there's any excuse for the 1 or the 4, either one. I think if they're the horse, they're going to win this race.
I am going to predict they will be stumble bunnying home here. I think we're going to see a very slow final quarter because you have the majority of the field within 3 lengths here of a 48.5, which is Aqueduct has been slow all day as well. So you haven't seen these type of times. And it looks like we're going to have Arctic Arrogance versus Hit Show here as Hit Show comes up the inside of the 2 Prove Right and Andiamo Firenze sitting all the way on the outside. See what Arctic Arrogance has left because he's about to be confronted. Notice the 5 here. Running up for third right now.
Yep. It's going to come in 1-4-5 or 4-1-5. It looks like from here. The 7 is battling a lot more than I thought he would, but he's going to fade now. And here we go. Here's the showdown. Arctic Arrogance. Can he win a close race this time? Doesn't look like it to me. It looks like Hit Show's got him measured in a big way here. He's going to go. Yep.
They look exhausted.
Yeah.
113. They're going to come 140. That's a 27-second quarter of a mile there. And they're not exactly coming home fast either. Yeah. So it's going to be Hit Show, Arctic Arrogance, General Banker. Lock him up in that 3rd spot here.
It's really quite unbelievable now. That's 2 races in a row where that's been pretty easy to predict. Here's one short price. Here's another short price. Here's a big price in General Banker. Just choose who you want to choose and go from there. I'll say this for Hit Show. A little bit better than Darby. A little bit better than I thought he would look. There was no resistance whatsoever. Now, I'm not saying he's a monster, but he zoomed right by Arctic Arrogance, where the other 2 races, it was a little bit more of a race, a little bit more in question. This was no question whatsoever.
When Arctic Arrogance didn't open heading into the stretch, you knew it was over. That's one of those spots where if that horse opens up by 2-3 lengths, it's going to be tough to catch them. If he doesn't, you get shut down. I got to say, I didn't screw this one up. I bet a $50 try 145, but I bet a $20 try 415. So I've got at least a piece of it on the way back.
Very good. Yeah, that's a thing that people sometimes they get into this locked of I play box trifectas, right? And that's all I do every race. You got to be a little bit flexible. This was not a box them up, call them home type of race. You like 3 8-1 shots, sure, but when it's short prices, you got to be flexible. You got to do things either pound it like what Magic said, or if what you did, your one you really liked, play it for a little bit more money than the one you liked second. So yeah, you ended up working out for you. I take away from this Arctic Arrogance, forget about it. Hit Show, maybe he's going to be decent. No.
Arctic Arrogance is going to run second. in the next two preps.
I don't
Just
think
keep
so.
running seconds. That's all Arctic Arrogant's going to do. Keep racking up those points, baby. Look, Hit Show is the only horse out of here that could possibly make the Kentucky Derby gate. I don't think it's a good sign that Brad Cox sent this horse to Aqueduct for this race, though. It tells me right away this horse is in the bottom half of his top 10, most likely, who he projects to be a Kentucky Derby horse. So the fact that we show up here, not great, although the race was good. So, I mean, the time was slow coming home, but we knew that was going to happen. They went way too fast for what we've seen on this track, specifically the last day or so. So the late time we knew wasn't going to be fast. We talked about that in mid-race. I think the Hit Show has an interesting future moving forward and probably makes the Derby gate off this race.
Yeah, he's going to be a useful horse. And I think in New York, in similar races like this, the one will be a useful horse as well. I agree. The problem is now for like the Derby Trail and Arctic Arrogance, it's not going to get any easier from here, right? I don't like the mile and the Gotham. I don't really think a mile is really what that horse wants to do. Then when you stretch out again to a mile and eighth, it's the Wood. You're going to have better horses. So he really needed to win, I think, in this spot. He didn't. Now, he still may make the Derby. Like, say, he might get third in a race, and he's there. But if you were on the fence with him, I think the door slams shut on him now.
With Arctic, yeah, I agree 100% with Arctic. I mean, I don't think anyone really expected Arctic Arrogance to make the Derby, right? And that's where this was interesting, because this was what Arctic Arrogance ran pretty much the exact same race we've seen all along. And it was whether or not Hit Show was going to be able to improve and get by. Clearly the two best horses in the races. Hit Show was able to do that. I don't think there was really ever Triple Crown dreams here for Arctic Arrogance, even heading into this race.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. But, you know, it's now let me ask you this. The favorite in the Sam F. Davis, you went against him. We'll talk about it here in a minute in detail. But, you know, the favorite beat Arctic Arrogance in the Remsen, but we just saw this horse is not that great. How good do you feel now going against the favorite coming up later in the Sam F. Davis?
Great. I mean, that number didn't look accurate to me when it came back, both the time form and the buyer speed figure for that from the last race with Arctic Arrogance and WHNL. So after seeing Arctic Arrogance run back like this, it makes me feel like you got to be taking shots, especially when you have two horses that are morning line 20-1. Be interested to see what they actually go off at. I don't think Worthington goes off at 20-1, but it will be interesting to see what those prices are on those horses and where you'd want to take swings. I mean, even Litigate, the Pletcher horse, the 11, I think it's a little interesting. 5-1 on the board. I'll be interested to see what the price there is. Can't remember the 9's name off the top of my head. That was another one I was interested in, though. There are 4 or 5 different directions you can go if you want to go against the favorite, who barely was able to beat Arctic Arrogance last time out.
Yeah, it's not a great sign for myself, who put that horse on top. So we'll see how that ends up going out. Yeah, easy race. There's Magic. Your try. Perfect.
Yeah, that's exactly what we predicted. And that's exactly why Mike and I tried claiming Hit Show like a week and a half ago. We went, well, there's the horse that's going to beat Arctic Arrogance, so let's claim him. Didn't work out for us, but
try pays 16-1.
Yep. Wow. That try paid 6, all because what? Jungfrau was out of it? Yeah.
And guys, even if you wanted to simplify it, the Exacta paid 5-1.
How?
I mean, I'll take the 16 when you knew the 5 was going to run third.
Well, yeah, I know, but even if you're sitting here like, I'm scared to play that try, the Exacta paid 5-1. So yeah, that's where the value is in these heavy favorites, is in the Exactas and the tries.
I was just replying to Lord Farquaad in the chat. He said, I'm way behind the times because he's been there a while. What's with Frankie in California? Well, he came out here looking for a Derby horse, and Newgate was going to make the Derby. Newgate's off the Derby trail now. So, like, that's really a shame. It was going to be nice to at least see Dettori get a Derby ride. We'll see, because he's also one of the early favorites for the Derby overseas that same weekend. He's on he's the normal rider for that horse, too. I can't remember the horse's name off the top of my head, but yeah, now that he's lost Newgate, we might not see him. So,
no.
You guys want to talk about, what is it? Gulfstream is coming up here in a couple of minutes. We got a maiden race here. I think it might be pretty interesting.
Yeah, let's talk about that maiden race for sure.
Let me pull it up here.
So it's $84,000 maiden special weight, going a mile over the main track. The 6-horse Case was your favorite on the morning line, 3-1 for Jonathan Thomas. Castellano looking for his 4th win of the day there. The Pletcher on the outside, well, not the Pletcher in the 8-hole. Zaya's aboard a $975,000 son of Gun Runner here, Dreamlike. Now you're second choice on the board here at 5-2. I like these two horses. However, I don't really like the prices now. I'd be hesitant to bet a win bet on either, but I do think they're clearly the two best in the race.
I think the 3 is really interesting. I don't think you better ignore this 3 horse. Coming off a layoff from Mott, but Mott is 27% on similar layoffs, so I'm not really worried about that. It's a tap-it horse. I think this is a really good sign. The 2 races this horse lost. 7 furlong loss to Disarm at Saratoga. Disarm freaked that day. And a 3/4 of a length loss to Instant Coffee, going 7 furlongs at Saratoga again. So you saw kind of that Mott improvement. Now we're at a mile. I'm pretty excited about the 3 as well.
So I just talked shit about Joel Rosario, who rode that horse twice and shows up on Saratoga Stables Union Trail here. If I was going to go for a third horse, who, by the way, is not dead on the board, 10-1 on the morning line, getting bet down to 8-1 into the teeth of the 3, the 6, and the 8, who also all got bet down off their numbers. The only horse that has been bet down that is not one of the 3 top choices. If I was going to take a swing against the 6 and the 8, I'd go to the 5 where Rosario landed. But like I just tweeted, it's really hard to bet Rosario right now because, man, he has been awful on both surfaces there at Gulfstream.
Take him at your own risk. I don't know. I mean, this is maybe the type of horse where he breaks the streak. One where, like, we've been saying it for a few weeks now. He's on a horse here that looks live and it's got him stopped or didn't run. This is one where everybody's paying attention to 3, 6, and the 8. Maybe he sneaks it up and gets a piece of it. There's no pressure on him, I don't think, here. Nobody really expecting him to win, so you got that going for you. I see your point, but I almost feel like we at the point where, Rosario was on him the last time. Well, we're going to get somebody else this time.
Yes, but it's Edgar Prado. If that was Junior Alvarado, who I realize isn't there, and I realize we've got a lot of jockeys at Tampa, but you could still get someone that's not Edgar Prado, who does not ride for Mott very often.
Well, get this. Edgar Prado is off. It's now some guy. I've never even heard of this guy.
It's Richard Kingscote. He's the European rider. He was on he was Desert Storms, the big superstar over in Europe last year. He was Desert Storms regular rider. He came over here just for the winter to check things out, but he doesn't have a win at the meet yet.
No.
So you're back up to your backup when you are getting bet down off a 2-1 morning, 5-2 morning line down to 2-1. And you have a trainer who's not very good first out in Barclay Tag, whose horse is catching heat, and that's where Rosario went. To me, if I'm going to take a swing, I can't believe I'm saying this after just saying it. Rosario's like not bettable. I would bet the 5 here if I'm going to take a swing in this race. If not, I would probably be playing the 8 Dreamlike.
Getting Eagles fans all hot and heavy saying backup of a backup. They're thinking, ooh, yeah, we love backups of backups. Yeah. All right, I'll see you guys on the other side. I'm going to go capture that replay. Bye-bye.
I didn't even know we need to capture this one. He probably is assuming Dreamlike's going to break his maiden here, so he can put it right up on YouTube. Make sure you're checking out Racing Dudes /YouTube or YouTube /Racing Dudes. We don't know YouTube. We post on there. So you can see all of this for Maiden Breakers, because Magic's done a wonderful job of putting the Maiden Breaking races up for a ton of horses on the Derby Trail this year.
Yes, he has. Yeah, you can get all kinds of stuff on that YouTube page from all the prospects. I know, and not just maidens, allowance races too, to Tap at Trice. I think that video is blowing up our YouTube page right now. People are pumped about Tap at Trice. So
it looked phenomenal, showed more tactical speed against Sturkin last time out. You got to expect you're going to see him have a pretty bright future. I kind of agree with a lot of the rumblings that he may be more of a Belmont horse than a Derby horse, but we'll see what happens there. We know Pletcher does get him ready for the Belmont.
Somebody's got to be a Derby horse at some point this year, right?
It's still, baby.
It's not Hit Show. So.
No, it's not. It's not Hit Show.
We will see. Oh gosh. Yeah. Let's see. What are we? Oh, we're going to the gate now. So yeah. You're getting a price. Even if you like that Pletcher horse, 5-2 is not horrible. Arthur's Ride, that's horse I like 2-1. I mean, that's not horrible either. To me, Case at 8-5, and again, we'll probably talk this horse right to the winner's circle. I'm not sure he should be the favorite. He lost to Shesterkin, who lost pretty badly to Tap at Trice, right?
Yeah, excellent point. We're about 7 minutes from the Suncoast here, so we will talk about Wonder Wheel and her return shortly. Currently 1-2 on the board. Your second choice there is the 9 horse, who is Julia's Shining, who's sitting at the board at 5-2. But we are headed into the gate here at Gulfstream Park, so we're going to take a look at this maiden score. Look, I like the 8 on top. I would probably bet either the 5 or the 8 as a win wager. I'm not going to bet this race because my gut tells me to bet the 5, and my head refuses to allow me to bet Rosario.
Magic's back.
They're adjusting the gates. They're in a holding pattern. There's a gap between the 6 and the 7 now.
Oh, what in the hell happened?
I don't know.
They said gate. I always said gate malfunction.
Oh,
Okay.
Holy rainstorm at Tampa.
Oh, really?
They just showed the paddock and it looked like a deluge.
Uh-oh.
Excellent word there. All right, should we talk about the Suncoast as this deluge goes on?
Ooh.
Yes.
Because that's a little more interesting than this maiden race, just saying.
Very
Sorry, I didn't realize that we were that close to that race.
All right, so I'll set it up. We got the $150,000 Suncoast for 3-year-old fillies here. Kentucky Oaks Prep, your favorite on the rail Wonder Wheel Breeders' Cup champion last year in the juvenile fillies division. You've got Julia Shining sitting on the outside. You have a couple other interesting horses in here. I think we got to at least talk about. Currently, Wonder Wheel is 1-2 on the board, projected to go off at 2-5. Aaron, you want to bet Wonder Wheel at 2-5?
Yeah, it's short for sure. I do think this is the best horse in the race, though. And my biggest problem is Mark Casse absolutely loves this horse. He thinks it's one of the best 2-year-olds he's ever trained. Well, the other horse I like the best in here is actually the stablemate of Wonder Wheel, and that's the 8, Ticker Tape Home. I don't think he's sending a horse in here to beat Wonder Wheel. So if I think the second best horse in the race is Ticker Tape 1 and it's the same trainer, it just makes it really tough for me to play against that horse. So I get you're trying to take a little bit of a shot against. I don't think Wonder Wheel's getting beat today because the other horse, Julia Shining, I don't think she's quite good enough to beat Wonder Wheel at this distance.
I've never been sold on Wonder Wheel. So that's part of my issue with Wonder Wheel here. I have been against her every step of the way. She's beaten me a couple times. I think I had her at Keeneland, but did not have her in the Breeders' Cup. I don't want her at this short of a price. I mean, to me, that's really the bottom line. I agree she's the most likely winner. I think that she probably wins this race between 55 and 60% of the time, but that means you need to get 4 to 5 to be able to make money on her. You got no shot at getting 4 to 5 here in this spot. She's probably even heavier used in both the pick 4s and the pick 5. So I think you have to try and play against her if you're not going to just stone cold single her, or if your opinion is she wins this race 90% of the time, because then obviously you need a different price to bet her. I agree with you. Ticker Tape Home is really interesting here in this spot. The numbers are good enough at Woodbine to win this race. However, we have not seen her on dirt. So that's the big key, is how does that translate? The fact that Casse has Wonder Wheel and is sending Ticker Tape Home in here actually is a good thing in my mind. It tells me that he thinks that Ticker Tape Home is at least close to where Wonder Wheel is. I'm also not sure we're going to get a fully cranked Wonder Wheel here in this spot, because this isn't the goal for her. The goal is the Kentucky Oaks for her.
Yeah, I think you're right about that as well. By the way, they're off at Gulfstream. They're turning for home. The 3, the 6, and the 8 are all right there together. Let's see who outfinishes who. Rosario right behind them.
Rosario on that 5.
But, okay, Dream, let's see. Dreamlike looks like might be starting to fade a little bit.
I mean, it looks like the 3, right?
Yeah, well, I think this 3's going to win. I don't know. The 8's kind of re-rallying again. I think the 8 just kind of struggled with the turn a little bit.
The 8's got the momentum now.
Yeah, that was really odd. The 8 backed up, and now as they straighten away, the 3's still going to hold him off.
What an odd ride, or odd race, I should say.
I wouldn't get real excited about any of those, to be honest, though, because the 8 literally stopped on the turn and then re-rallied. It's almost like she couldn't handle the turn. So nice win for the 3, though.
He's coming to America. Kings Cup, first win in the United States there. And he's a very accomplished jockey overseas as well. So great job there, picking up the mount and picking up the victory for Bill Mott. All right, let's head back here to Tampa Bay Downs. If it's not Wonder Wheel or Ticker Tape, you mentioned you're not in love with Julia Shining. Is there a bomb of a price here that you could see getting the job done?
I mean, the bomb's the 8 at 13-1, right? I really didn't like anybody else in the race. So my thought process is this. Even if Wonder Wheel is just decent, she still should win. I think the distance is really good for her. You know, her form obviously is solid. The 9, I don't think we're going to see her best race until a mile and an eighth. Talking about Julia Shining. Also, her numbers are low, right? So we need to grow up a little bit. I'm not sure if this is the race the 9 does it. Yeah, then I went to the 8 and like, yeah, the horse has numbers that can fit. If we take to the dirt, we got a shot. I looked at the rest of this field and said, this is not good. What is your, I mean, do you have one? Because like I said, the 8 is mine.
If I got crazy, I would go with a 3 Charlie's Wish underneath, 32-1 on the board, 12-1 on the morning line. You can make an argument that she took a step forward in every single one of her races. If she can handle the 2-turn distance here, she should be coming from a little bit off the pace, be able to make a run and possibly get up for a minor. I don't think Charlie's Wish can win the race. I think that's probably a little aggressive here, but I do think if you like, if you're trying to play something where you're trying to get a little more value and you want to play, let's say 8-9 with 1-8-9 with 1-3-8-9, I don't mind that. If you're trying to play the 1 and you want to play a superfecta, I don't hate the 1 over 3-8-9 superfecta, because the 8 and the 9 to me are the next logical 2. You play that for $5, it costs you $30. And if Charlie's Wish somehow runs second, that thing is balloons.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Charlie's Wish, I mean, somebody's going to have to, if my thought process is the 9 may miss the board here, then somebody's got to run third. If you really love that 1-8, the 3 makes more sense than a lot of them here. I thought Champagne Calling the 4 makes a little bit of sense too, but it's just a lot of them are really going to have to step up from what we've seen from them in the past. It's really was a race, and you get this a lot at Tampa or tracks like Tampa. Everybody knew Wonder Wheel was coming back. Then it was like Julia Shining's coming here, and then everybody else was like, why am I going to run here for $150,000 against 2 horses that people think could win the Oaks? And they're probably not off with that reasoning.
Yeah, I mean, I would say these are probably 2 of your top 5 contenders right now, just from an Oaks perspective. Yeah. A lot of people into Julia Shining, full sister to Malathat. We know how good she became later in her 3-year-old and 4-year-old career. Wonder Wheel, a Breeders' Cup champion coming back here. I mean, this race came up really tough for a $150K stakes race early in February.
It's shocking how tough it came up. My guess is we're prepping for Keeneland with these horses. Usually we've seen that Tampa to Keeneland kind of transition happen with the not only fillies, but the males as well. So I think that's probably what they're looking at. Mark Cassie's going to want to go to Keeneland with Wonder Wheel. Todd Pletcher used Keeneland with Nest last year, if I could speak, before going to the Kentucky Derby. So that could be what we're thinking about here. Maybe we run 2 races at Tampa and then go up to Keeneland. But yeah, I was shocked when I saw that both of these big time fillies were in this race.
So we've got quite a few horses stretching out here as well. What do you think of the pace early? I mean, I could see it being pretty toasty here from all these horses coming out of 6 and 7 furlong races.
It's tough to kind of think it's not going to be fast because, like you said, a lot of horses coming out of sprints. And then you've got Wonder Wheel, who's won from dead last and won on the lead. She's at the rail. I don't think the idea will be dead last. I think we're going to try to send her. So, yeah, it gets a little bit messy. I think the 5's got speed. The 2's got speed. The other Cassie horse, the 8's got a little bit of speed. I don't think we're going to see a 1-8 duel, but there's enough other speed in here that it could be very interesting up front.
Do you think the reason the 8 is in the race was to guarantee that she could be able to stalk, that Wonder Wheel could sit right behind, or do you think that that Cassie actually thinks the horse has a chance?
Hard to say. I think he thinks that she has a chance. I don't think she's shown enough where I don't think it's just like we're going to send a rabbit out.
All right, walking in the gate, final pick. Who you got?
I'm taking the 1. I think she's the real deal.
I'm going to go with the 8. Give me the 12-1 price. I just can't bet Wonder Wheel at 1-2. I can't do it.
All right. Well, listen. If the 8 wins, I'll be very happy because I went 1-8 on my ticket. So
I'm live to 8-9 here. I tried to beat her with Julia Shining and the 8 horse. So we'll see if we can get around those 2. I know Magic went 1-8 on his live pick 5 ticket as well for the Magic Mike show. So 1-8-9 of the horse we're live to. I do think the 3 is the live price here. If you're going to bet a super and you like the 1, I like the 1 over 3-8-9 over 3-8-9 over 3-8-9 super because that could return some pretty big stacks.
Well, to be fair, I may not be giving Julia Shining enough credit. And it may be that simple. Just, hey, how do you beat the favorite with the other horse that looks like, really good on paper? I may be overthinking her. I just don't think this is where we're going to see her at her best today. But, hey, even if you get her home, it's still going to help that ticket out immensely to get this 1-2 beat. The most singleable horse in the sequence, without any doubt.
Easily. I mean, you got to think Wonder Wheel is on 85% of the tickets in this sequence. So I like the fact that Julia Shining is going to be a little more forwardly placed here, trying to find some room headed into the first turn. Oh, some trouble there for the 2-horse Opus 42. It looks like Dreaming of Snow is going to make the lead. Ticker Tape home is going to sit second on the outside. Wonder Wheel, great tracking spot here in third.
Yeah, I mean, this sets up well for both the Cassie horses. You've got Ticker Tape that's just sitting there, like I said, in a nice stocking position. Wonder Wheel's in the perfect spot, of kind of where we saw Hit Show. When I know it's different track, but same kind of position, stocking on the inside, just kind of biding the time. You made a good point about Julia Shining. This is interesting. She's much closer, having to be ridden along a little bit, but that might be okay. Maybe she's a bit of a lazy horse early. They told him, hey, you're going to have to ride her today. We'll see if she's got the turn of foot. Now Wonder Wheel just switched to the outside. So, and the 8 is now on the inside. So that's interesting.
Interesting choice by the 8's jockey there to back out from between horses.
Yeah.
And tuck back behind the 5. Now a little traffic trouble. I think he was really hoping he'd be able to get that rail. It didn't quite open up. And now you see Wonder Wheel starting to move and Julia Shining going 4 wide. So just like Aqueduct, we're going to get the battle we wanted, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like we did overthink the 8 a little bit, but we got a battle between the 1 and the 9. Now, the 1, they have not even asked this horse to move yet, where the 9 has been all out on the turn. But what about Dreaming of Snow, who just snuck through there? Can they go get her? We'll see.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, Julia Shining has been asked pretty much the whole race, but that was clearly the plan here going into it. Now we got a battle between the 38-1, Dreaming of Snow, and Wonder Wheel. And Wonder Wheel not going to buy. Right idea, wrong horse. Damn.
Wow.
You had a feeling Wonder Wheel wasn't going to be 100% for this. They didn't. I'm surprised they didn't ask her earlier because he was completely chilly on her until almost into the stretch.
I don't have an explanation for that one. I mean, Dreaming of Snow was defeated by 2 of these horses last time out. That's a shocking result at Tampa. Like you said, it was setting up. We had the 1, we had the 9. Here we go. And I was watching those 2, and I glanced on the rails like, wow, that 5's still there.
5 was the shortest price in that race against the 2 and the 3 last time out, 4-1, and had been improving before that race. Takes a step back, and today takes a giant step forward to knock off your defending Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly champion, Wonder Wheel, in 150K stakes there at Tampa. What do you do with Wonder Wheel moving forward? Is this a knock against your resume, or are you just going to just say, hey, this was first back, we're getting her up into form, she couldn't have been fully cranked for this? Your face says quite a bit right now.
I don't know. I think Hoosier Philly is smiling down at Fairgrounds right now.
That's fair.
Because she's running next week in the Rachel Alexander, and she's going, okay, I'm better than those horses. I'm really shocked because you were right. Like, Tyler Gaffleone really never asked Wonder Wheel to do anything. And then it's like, okay, just ask her and she'll go right by that 5. And then boom, nothing. And the 9 was under a ride the whole way. I really think after watching this, that the quicker we can get Julia Shining to 1 1/8 miles, we might see a nice horse. She proved to me that she's pretty legit. She did not want to go that distance, and she still ran pretty well. If we can get her in a race where she doesn't have to be ridden the whole race, I don't know.
So Saya's definitely earned his money there, working her basically the entire time.
Yeah.
What about Belmont?
They nominated for the Triple Crown.
And you had Pletcher do this with Ness last year.
Yeah.
And you kind of have a similar, not going to say similar style of horse, but you really need to get Julia Shining into the race early. We saw that with Malathat as well at some times where she just seemed disinterested and had to work her the entire way around. Do you think that 1.5 miles is what she actually wants? And maybe we have another filly in the Belmont this year.
Now, to be clear, Nest absolutely was dominating races at shorter distances before going to that Belmont. So, but yeah, I think so. They nominated 2 fillies to the Triple Crown, Hoosier Philly and Julia Shining. This was a decent step to me to say, okay, she's not awful. Like she's going to improve. She's on the progression trail. She's going to run better going longer. Yeah, possibly, but she's got to get a lot faster still. She's still not that fast. Nest has shown some fast numbers before, going even to the Kentucky Oaks. I'm not sure about Julia Shining just yet for that. I don't know if she's that level or not.
Yeah, we're definitely need to
It's
take
not over yet. There's an objection against the winner.
Oh, really?
Really? And it's not who you think. It's the 2 Opus 42 jockey objection against the winner.
Oh, that must be on the first turn then, because we saw all that trouble there early in the race.
Yeah.
Where the 2 had to kind of check up and move out. So I'm guessing that's going into the first turn where Dreaming of Snow kind of went over and took the lead. You can tell how hard it's rating there as well. This, I think, is relevant as well. Tampa has been speed favoring today. We saw Jafaros do this 2 races ago. We just saw in the last race the 5 horse go wire to wire, going way too fast early, able to get the job done as well in syllabus. So speed has been good at Tampa today. So I think that's at least worth mentioning, which Chris is bringing up here as well.
Well, this is going to be interesting. I don't know. I mean, you made note of it that the 2 really had a rough time in that first turn. So, of course, we're not seeing a replay, so that's kind of makes it hard for us to comment. The 2 did have to take up. There's no question about that.
Can we take the 1 down?
No change.
No change.
Oh,
Yeah.
No change. Damn.
Well,
all right.
I would have taken that for the pick 5. I don't care. I don't care how dirty it was.
I'll be right back, boys.
you gonna cry?
No, I gotta go to the bathroom, man. Killing me.
You and I were a lot more seamless with our bathroom transitions when it was just the 2 of us, weren't we?
I know. What did you think of that, Magic?
Boy, that was something. I thought for sure, like Jared said in the chat, she looked like she was 1-9 until she wasn't. It's like I liked that Gaff Leon was making sure he knew where the 9 was every step of the way and didn't let her get too close. Wonder Wheel looked like she just kicked into gear. Dreaming of Snow, did not see that coming from her. Did not see that effort coming from her. This was interesting. I mean, you did have going, first time route, that angle, and Sam Camacho is the top jockey in Tampa right now. But oof, I don't know. I think you still pursue on with Wonder Wheel. I think you can make an excuse. Blah blah blah. Go to Keeneland, go to the Ashland. That was the plan for her. Julia Shining, go to Aqueduct. That's where you should go.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I'm still not sold that she's just really good. I think she ran better than I thought she would actually in this race, but I don't think she just hasn't shown that she's fast enough. And that's kind of the biggest problem is she just hasn't shown that speed in that acceleration. She's just more of a kind of a grinder. So, but the distance will help that horse for sure. I'm with you on Wonder Wheel. I mean, you just go on to the next race, hope she runs better. Maybe she was a little short today. I don't know. Maybe it was an overconfident ride. I think she kind of just got the ride of we're 30 lengths better than everybody else.
Yeah, like Tyler, it did kind of seem like Tyler thought that he was going to have no problem reeling that 5 in, and then they came off the turn, and he said go, and he did the same thing you did. We were like, that 5's not going back. She's not going backwards. Are they going to catch her? And he's like, oh, shit, and the whole way down the stretch.
I thought Julia Shining got a shot late there too. She started to rally late. So I agree there, and I think she just needs more distance.
We all kind of whiffed on the 8, didn't we? Oops.
That ride was weird. I mean, the horse backed up like crazy, but the ride was kind of strange to get caught there and then not go.
I think the 8 sucked.
Yeah.
I think the 8 was just awful in that race. I mean, in a perfect spot, you're right. It was like you're in a perfect spot, then all of a sudden, why are you there? But
yeah,
I mean, I think the jockey would have had to pick her up and carry her. I don't think she had anything.
All right. Well, where do you guys want to go next? We've got a little bit of time to kill before we got 18 minutes to post for the next race, which is the Sam F. Davis Stakes. Where would you like to head, Aaron?
How long until Oaklawn here? Oh, too long. Wait a second. What?
We got 9 minutes to Gulfstream.
8. Oh, 8 is no. We don't need to talk about race 8 at Oaklawn. Santa Anita, 4th race. If you guys want to go there,
sure.
They're getting ready to load.
Oh well, talk fast then.
Here we go. I like the 6 in this race.
I haven't looked at the race.
Let's see, is the race already off?
Now they're getting ready to run here. Hold on. The 8 is loading, and then they're gonna be off. This is a decent race here. Starter allowance horses. We'll see.
Oh,
And
Army
five-
Star.
The one's lone speed at 18-1. So I would take a swing with the one if I was going to play a price here.
So one is trying to get to the lead. Kind of didn't break all that well, but flying up there. And the 6, I think, is just going to stock this one. Hopefully. Hopefully,
that
you
was
don't
not
go
the
with
break
them.
we wanted.
Yeah. Mike Smith. We'll see if Mike Smith can get to the winner circle here with this one. Or with the 6, I meant. Sorry.
He's actually been much more aggressive the last couple of weeks. Have you guys noticed that?
Yes. I haven't. I don't know.
Come on, Army Star.
Army Star looks like going to go right by.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gone.
Yeah.
No, maybe not.
The 6 hadn't really asked mid-turn.
Yeah, here we go.
The 5's going to get it done, though. 2-1 on Army Star there.
2-1.
I'll take it.
All right, we got 7 to Gulfstream. If we want to talk about that real quick.
Let's go Gulfstream.
There we go. Gulfstream, what, race 10?
Race 11, grade
This
3.
would have been a really good race, but every like all the horses scratched out of it.
Yeah, this field got obliterated by scratches. I think we're down to like 5 or 6 here.
Mm-hmm.
5.
Holy
I
cow.
liked the 5 at the price in the morning line. Yes, I'm free. Run really well over this track. Last race specifically, I thought was good and has numbers back to beat this field. Won this race last year as well. It's going to be interesting if Caratari is going to be controlling speed. You now have Rosario on the board as your favorite. Kind of surprised Belgrano was there at 5-2. I thought Belgrano was the best horse in this race, but obviously with a little less pace, it's a little tougher to close into it.
This was before we got on air. I said we're going to be on air when Rosario has 2 horses that have great shots to win, and this was the first one. And he said it. I mean, this horse is the fastest horse in the race, going 5 furlongs on the turf at Gulfstream Park, and the horse has a lot of talent too, and has a reason to improve and run a big race today. To me, you got to get this horse home. You just have to. You're right. The 3 is talented and can definitely get the job done as well. But with the scratches, this 3 is up against it now. So this is a big time opportunity for Rosario to break the streak.
I still think the 5 is a threat here to Caratari. Yes, I'm free has run well over this track, like I mentioned. I should sit right outside. And if Vasquez wants the lead, I think he probably can get it from the way Rosario's been riding.
It feels like it could be a 2-horse race between the 4 and the 5 and who gets to the front and who gets the position. And Jared picked the 5. That was his top choice on Blinkers Off. He really liked the horse as well. You know, both the 4 and the 5 running second off the layoff. 5 won an allowance last time out. Looked pretty solid. Should improve off that effort where the 4 was 4th in a stakes race. Pretty similar efforts last time out. Second off the layoff. Both of them have reasons to improve. Listen, the 4 is drawn inside the 5. Should get the lead. So we'll see what happens.
Do you think the 2 country final of the 8 Shaky Shabazz, the only horses here over 5-2, have a shot in this spot? Can you make a case for either?
I mean, Shaky Shabazz is a horse that's been around for seemingly forever. Boy, a lot have hit the boards, right? But I don't know if Shecky can get up and actually win. But yeah, that's the one I would play if you're going to want a little bit of a price. 5-1, probably right for this field after we've scratched down and we now have 5 horses in it. He makes sense. He just has kind of been a heartbreaker. He's kind of like the 3 too. I'm not like the pace is going to be a problem, I'm afraid, for the 8.
If I was going to go for one of the 2 prices, I think you could make a case for County Final here, who should be 3rd place early. You'd think the County Final is going to sit 3rd. Last time out, lost to Sibelius. Last time turf sprinting, lost to Golden Pal. Wasn't really close to either of them, to be fair. So you're going to need to take a step forward. But it's also 2nd time in the Safi barn and 1st time sprinting on turf for Safi as well. So if you wanted to get a little kooky with one of the 2 longer prices, I think the 2 is the horse it's a little bit interesting.
Yeah. Short field, big price. You hear that all the time. Listen, there's not a ton of difference. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Now, there's not a ton of difference between any of these horses. And that's, well, you're seeing it. The favorite's 8-5. The longest shot on the board is 5-1. So it makes sense if you think if you think you got a little bit of an angle on one to take a little swing.
Magic, what do you think of this spot?
I mean, I've always been a big fan of Karatari, and to have him show up in this spot to me is, I like that they didn't take a big drop after the Janus Stakes. It didn't work out for him, but maybe he was a little light off of it. But I've been friends with the owner for a long time, and this has been a favorite horse of his. Ruben Fuentes rode this horse. That's how long ago, right back when we were first covering him over on the website. If you scratch off that last race, he's got 4 wins in a second and 5 starts on the Gulfstream Park turf. He loves it here. I will say the ownership is worried a little bit about the 5. So I think, I would play 4 or 5, either go cold if you want to go 5-4 or 4-5. I'll go 4-5 because of my faith in my friend's horse, but I think that's the way you play it.
I mean, with the way the board's shaking up, you're now getting 7-2. Well, now we're back down to 3-1 on the 5. The 5 at 3-1 to me is Belgrano's tough, man. If Belgrano can stay close to this pace, I do think the 3 is the best horse in the race. It's just the pace is going to be whether or not Belgrano can close into it, especially with this Gulfstream Park turf course, which is favoring speed. I just don't trust Rosario. I like kind of like the 5-3 exacta cold. See if you can get a little bit of a price and run the 4 out.
Yeah, I mean, hard to argue that. I like the 4. I'm with Magic. I like the 4. I think the 4 is going to win the race, but are we any of us going to be shocked on the stream if the 4 is sitting like in 3rd?
No.
So you hate to be like that, but that's just how it is. And I really believe that the 4 gets the trip. We're going to see a win from him, and I'm with you. The 3, we may break from the gate and he's 2 or 3 links behind, and it's like, they're not going to hold him off at that pace. So it became a very tricky situation with all the scratches. I think before the scratches, it's like, well, there's going to be speed. There's 10 horses. There's 3 or 4 that can really fly. It's going to set up well for the 3. And then this happened, and it's like, okay, you got less horses to worry about, but the situation really changed. And that's what makes this one tricky. 5 horses in a turf sprint is a tricky little setup.
Well, Belgrano last time out, with Paco aboard, they went 43 and 4 to the half, and this horse was only two lengths back at that point. So has more tactical speed than you might expect when you look back at the past performances as well, because the horse is usually 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere in that range, but close enough that if they go that fast and Belgrano's that close, I think he's dangerous. Man, if we look 3-1 on Belgrano, I kind of flipping back and forth between the 5 here. I think if you're getting the same price in the 3 and the 5, I would take the 3 Belgrano here. But those to me are the 2 I'd focus on, because I don't think Karatari should be 7-5 here.
You're looking at it and you're saying, okay, I think the 3 is the best horse in the race, but the pace is weird. But we're 3-1, so you're getting the price. Like, yeah, things were perfect. You probably wouldn't get 3-1. You'd be like 7-5. So you're kind of just making a bet that he'll be able to overcome some problems. Just showing him on the screen, he's pretty fired up. He's running around out there on the dirt, ready to get over to that turf there, Magic. So I get it. It's hard for, you could say any horse and make a case, and it's hard to really say, oh, I don't know about that. They all are pretty similar.
In the daily double, the 3 Belgrano actually a slight favorite over the 4 Karatari, and the pick 3 Karatari pretty heavily favored over the 3 Belgrano. So we'll see what they actually go in or go off at here, because it's I would be surprised if it's as big of a gap as it currently is.
Yeah, no, I would agree. You talked about New York not allowing that computer betting within the last couple of minutes. Well, Gulfstream does. So yes, that's always hard to know what those odds are actually going to be at Gulfstream.
Flipping back and forth between this and Tampa, it is the complete night and day difference. Like, it's nice and sunny at Gulfstream. It looks a little warm, maybe cooling off a little bit. Tampa, it's like Forrest Gump in Vietnam. It's like blowing sideways at him.
Amazing what 2 hours worth of a drive difference does in Florida, isn't it? Or 4 hours, I guess, across state.
Is that not the case? Wow. Unreal. I just flipped it over there too, Magic. That's hopefully we can see the horses. Sam at Davis.
All right, we are on the turf course now, still holding at 6-5 on Karatari, 3-1 on Belgrano, 7-2 here on Yes, I Am Free. Man, I'm between the 3 and the 5. Aaron, who do you like here?
I'm sticking with my 4. I'm going to go 4-5.
Magic?
I'm going to flip it with those odds. I'm going to go 5-4-3 cold try.
Probably smart.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-5. I'm gonna say Belgrano. At this price, I can't pass up Belgrano. I think Belgrano and Karatari should be the same price, and Yes, I'm Free should be about double what they are. And with the prices the way they are, give me the 3 Belgrano on top.
Neither of us using the 2 or the 8 at all. So which one of those 2 did we just put in the winner's circle?
The 8.
I won't be shocked if the 2 wins.
I won't be shocked if the 8 makes a run that makes you think the 8's going to win before finishing second.
I don't think Shaky needs to retire. I think Chris brought that up in the chat. I think it's time, man. This horse has been around the block. I mean, this horse is running Naira just everywhere the last 4 or 5 years.
This horse survived the Jason service barn.
It's a while ago now.
Yeah.
All right, we are in the gate.
To be living at this point is amazing, let alone racing still.
Here we go.
And Rosario did not get the lead. Yes, I'm Free did.
Yep, 5 got the lead.
3 Belgrano had to check out of there a little bit. We'll see how that affects it. And the 5 crossed over. I mean, that's just the fact that the 5 is a full length and a half up heading to the turn is wild.
Rosario's holding back too, it looks like.
Well, sure.
He looks like he has some horse, but
Well, so did Tyler Gaffleone in the Suncoast.
21-4.
Hey, look at old Shecky.
Yep. Here comes the 4.
Belgrano's going to swing wide.
Belgrano did not get a great ride.
No, not wonderful. Yes, I'm Free. He's looking tough up there.
Come on, Karatari.
Yes, I'm Free. Gate to wire.
I'll take
Yep.
it.
Back to
5-4.
back.
Come on, 3 get up
winners.
for third. Nah, I won't get up for third.
Listen,
Back wins in the Gulfstream Turf Sprint.
it was a rider's race. We said it. The 4 and the 5 are going to control the race. They did. Mike, you said it. The 5, Vasquez beat 4 to the Rosario to the spot, and that was the race because there wasn't any other pace.
Yeah.
And instead of Rosario trying to get aggressive, he just said, I'll sit back here and stalk a loose on the lead 5 furlong sprinter at Gulfstream. That's why he's losing every race he's in.
Well, you watch the race 2 back, and right before we came on, he's on a speed horse, the 2 horse in that race, breaks on top, is a half length ahead, and is in 5th, 3 back on the inside by the time they get out of the turn. It's like, what are we doing here? This is a speed favoring track. You have to go with those type of horses, and this is a great example. You got to send Karatari and blindly send Karatari and just hope you're good enough at this point, because that is the best chance for the 4 to win. Stalking the 4 essentially in the 2 path is just it's a nightmare of a trip for that horse.
It's unexplainable. It really is unexplainable. And the thing about it is, the 5 had good speed for sure. You're going to have to break and be a little aggressive, but the 4 was the fastest horse on paper. And Magic said it during the replay or during the stretch or backstretch. It looks like Rosario's holding him because he was. So I don't get it. I just don't get it.
All right, I think we've chat on Joel Rosario enough for one day. Well, maybe not, but we'll move over to Tampa Bay now. Magic, if you could pull that up for us, please. We are about 4 minutes out from the Sam F. Davis, the other Kentucky Derby prep. WNHNL, currently your favorite, sitting on the board at 2-1. But I know, Aaron, you are with me here, and you think there are some prices that are playable here. Give me a horse over 15-1 that you like. I'll set you up for it.
I really like Worthington at 16-1, the 1 horse. This horse has really solid numbers, really, really good form, coming in this race really well. 2-turn experience. I'm saving it though. First race on the turf or on the dirt will be today. All the races have been on the turf. So that's the worry, but solid connections as well for Worthington. I just feel like this horse is here with a chance. I don't think it's a great field. I think Worthington can get it done. 16-1. I'll kind of take my chances here. I do like the 7, like them a lot less after what we saw out of Arctic Arrogance. So at 16-1, the 1 is the long shot I'm looking at.
I kind of like the 6-horse Classic Car Wash here. We've talked a lot about the synthetic at Gulfstream, how hard it is to go gate to wire there. The 6-horse was able to go gate to wire there. And to me, that's something that's very impressive. Now you're shipping over here to Tampa, taking on what I think is a pretty lackluster field. I think you almost have to price on here. I wouldn't argue WNHL probably your most likely winner, but can you really tell me we're going to see that last race again? Because if you do see that last race, WHNL should be around even money. If you don't, every single horse in this field pretty much it's moved into play as a horse that's a possible winner here. I'm going to take the 6 Classic Car Wash on top at 14-1 right now, see if we can get a little bit of a price. I do think there's other directions to go in here. I thought the 2, Prairie Hawk, the 9, Champion's Dream, and the 11 were all a little bit interesting. Do you like any of those 3 horses? Surprise, the 11's 5-2 Litigate right now on the board for Todd Pletcher.
I hate the price, but I mean, Litigate makes sense. It's a horse that I just wish would have run a little bit better last time out, but this is we're second race in the cycle here. So, maybe we get a little bit of a bounce back or a progression, I should say, out of Litigate, but at 5-2, it does make it a little tough to get excited about. You mentioned Prairie Hawk. I think it's a horse. We got to win over the surface last time out. Maybe a horse that could get a little bit better off of that race. I thought the 2 was maybe live a little bit. The 9 at 7-1, I think that's too big of a price. I think the 9 can jump up here and run pretty well in this spot. This Litigate, the other problem is this is not a great post.
No,
and you're going to have some trouble here. So, boy, I don't know. I'm not going to be shocked if he wins, but 5-2 is kind of tough to choke down.
Well, and Sias has to be exhausted after riding Julia Shining for the full mile on the 16th last race as well, having to ask her the whole time. The problem with the post for Litigate is he's not a send horse. He's not making the lead. So you want to be forwardly placed, and you're going into that first turn early, you're going to be hung 3 or 4 wide, and that's going to be the key to Litigate's race. If he's able to get to the 2 path or the rail, all of a sudden you got to think he's got a legit shot if he's top 5 sitting in one of those spots. But if he's in 5th and 4 wide, the task becomes a lot taller there. The one thing I do want to say about Prairie Hawk, the reason I did not pick Prairie Hawk, that last race was only 4 horses, and they went 25 to the quarter, 50 to the half. So he looks like a speed horse on paper, but there was absolutely no pace in that race, and he was able to basically walk the dog with a couple Pletchers chasing behind him. So that one looks a little better on paper to me. And then if you look at who ran second to 5, Grooveland, 35-1 on the board. So to me, it's a little tougher to make a case for the 2 sitting there at 8-1.
I wasn't just over the moon about the 2. Yeah. But a win over the surface does make a little bit of a difference. So I will say that for him. The other horse that I think people are talking about a lot, and I think it's just because Mott and Alvarado have been so hot, is Classic Legacy, the 3. But gosh, it just seems like this horse needs to get a lot faster. I just haven't seen a lot of fast numbers for him, but he was getting a lot of steam, and he's getting bet a little bit. 12-1 morning line down to 9-1. I also heard a few people talking about the 10 Dreaming of Kona, 13-1 coming out of the Mucho Macho Man, where he was DQ, or well, the winner was DQ'd. He got moved up to first. He's going to be on the lead, I think. If he can stretch, we've seen how the track's kind of carrying horses. What do you think about the 10? I don't know. Maybe he gets up there in front and takes some gate to wire.
Most likely your horse is going to be on the lead. And at that point, how we've seen this Tampa play, you got to at least respect the 10 horse in this spot. I'm a little distance concerns because I didn't love the ending to the Mucho Macho Man. They went 27 seconds in the last quarter of a mile, and Legacy I was able to hold off Dreaming of Kona, just kind of ran in place. Not sure how good that race was. Did run pretty well the race 2 back at Tampa, but that was 6 furlongs. So this is the first time we're going 2 turns from the 10 post. You got to make the lead. If Dreaming of Kona can't make it out early, then it's pretty much game over. I got to be surprised. I'm surprised that Worthington's still 20-1. I thought this horse would take more steam than 20-1 with the maker sending this horse in and trying dirt for the first time. The numbers on turf fit against this field. The question is, are you able to actually move that from turf to dirt?
Yep. No, absolutely. That is the question. We're going to get ready to find out as they're loading. I think the slop will help the number 1. I really do. A turf horse running over the slop sometimes can be a good thing. The horse has a pedigree that says the dirt shouldn't be that much of an issue as well. So we'll see, though. Maker's not dumb. I think if he thought he was a real good dirt horse, he would have started him on the dirt, but may have found the field here to get the job done. About half of them are loading. Looks like the 7 WHNL will be 9-5.
All right, your top pick?
I'm going to stick with the 7.
Give me the 6 Classic Car Wash, 15-1. See if we can get a little bit of a price home here.
Okay.
This is a very interesting race, though. Again, I don't think I would be surprised if anyone makes the gate out of this prep race, but it's a very interesting betting race.
100%. Yeah. Much more interesting than the Withers, where it was a 2-horse race.
Although that one was fun to bet because that try was easy at 16-1.
It was fun, but it was like, this is a scramble. Like you can make it, you can make a $5 wager and make 1,000 here. Like that's the kind of race it is.
And they are off. The 10 did not break well and is in second to last. Not wonderful there. 11 Litigate and the 12 all both out for the lead here early. And let's see, where did WHN? Oh, he's gotten a little trouble. He's 4 wide there after some traffic issues.
Yeah, he got slammed pretty tough. So he's kind of settled himself down now, but that was not a good start for him. Who is that third of the outside? So Dreaming of Kona actually gets up there somehow, but you have to think that took a lot out of him to get up in that spot. Litigate sitting a perfect trip, and so's Prairie Hawk if they're good enough.
Yeah, my 6 had a ton of trouble on that first turn as well. Had to steady back, so I don't like the chances for Classic Car Wash now, unfortunately. But so is horse racing. Litigate in a good spot there. The 2 also in a very good spot, if good enough. And that's Prairie Hawk that we talked about a little bit there, kind of taking a step up here. Worthington sitting at the back of the pack, currently last. Your favorite, WHNL.
He has just had a rough go of it, and he's got no shot. This is going to blow up. It's just going to be. Who's it going to be? The 12 at 43-1 looks pretty good. Turning for home. Litigate starting to make a move. They're starting to make a few moves. Litigate's making the strongest one without a doubt. Look at him come up here.
Come on with a 6. The 6 Classic Car Wash, a little back into it. I don't think we're going to be good enough, though. Litigate looks absolutely loaded here at the top of the stretch.
The 3 Classic Legacy might make a little move to get up here in a second. Here comes Litigate. Now is this 12 going to keep on?
Who's on the rail there? Grooveland on the 5 on the rail trying to make a run. It looks like Classic Legacy is going to be the one that gets up. And Classic Car, or no, it is going to be the 5 horse. Grooveland is going to hold for second.
11-5 and a photo. 3
6. 11-5-6. Classic Car Wash that first turn.
11-5 and 6. So Groveland in second. That wasn't a horrible effort from Litigate.
No, that was fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting, and we talked obviously quite a bit about the horse Litigate got beat by last weekend, Cyclone Mischief, who goes and runs an absolute clunker, but that wasn't a shock either. It was interesting that Pletcher decided to put Litigate in here and move Litigate forward. Got bet off the board down to 5-2, ran well. This is going to be a trip trouble race, though. Like, I think I have to watch this race 4 or 5 times to take some notes out of here because WHNL had an awful trip. Classic Car Wash has a brutal trip. If you like the 10 Dreaming of Kona, that horse never had a chance. So you got to at least look back at that horse because it didn't break well. The second to last early, 3 wide, rushing to the leader on the first turn. That's not a way you're going to be able to win a race like this, especially when they go 23-46.
I mean, there was a lot of issues in this one. We said it on the backstretch. Litigate was sitting that perfect trip, got it, and just kind of exploded. I was just really surprised. It just seemed like a lot of horses didn't fire any kind of a race. The 7 rebounded and then quit again. I wonder if the 7 got nicked up or something. He totally quit. But a nice little run by Litigate. Really, once they turned for home, you never really thought that horse was going to lose, and just kind of was able to finish the deal. You're right. I'd love to see some trips here, especially that first turn. Both of the big races today at Tampa, that first turn had some weird situations.
Yeah, we got a lot of talk in the chat about the 2 as well here. Magic brought it up. I think and Jared brought it up as well. 2 had an awful break. Kind of was relevant there in the backstretch, but then not able to quite keep moving forward in the same way. I want to watch the race from Classic Car Wash again, too, because the trouble I saw in the first turn makes me think that horse could take a step forward as well. All that being said, I'm not sure how good this race was.
Horrible.
That's one way to put it.
I think Hit Show was the best horse out of these 2. I thought he looked decent. There ain't much in that one. That looked really rough. Really rough.
Any other thoughts here on this group? Is there anyone out of here that you want going forward outside of Litigate?
No.
You
can make excuses for Prairie Hawk or WHNL or Classic Car Wash. I don't care. I'm not playing any of these horses back.
Should WHNL bet at Aqueduct today?
I mean, claimer maybe, yeah. No, listen, I will say for him, it didn't, something happened. Like, you're going to have to watch his first turn again. I'm sure there are horses that had trouble, and he's one of them. And it's like, yeah, well, he should have won. He had trouble, but maybe if we get a class drop, we can play him, right? But these horses are not going to go on and win big races after this. I mean, Litigate, I mean, if nobody shows up at Tampa for the Tampa Bay Derby, maybe he can do it again, but these are not good horses.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the plan is for a bunch of these moving forward. Like I said, this is a race I'm probably going to watch 5 or 6 times just to try and figure out who I like. The one problem with these type of races is like the 6 Classic Car Wash, who I think had a lot of trouble, still probably not a stable him up horse for me because I don't know how good this race was, and he's going to get bet off this. And so that makes it hard to be like, yeah, I really want to come back and then play Classic Car Wash in a race when probably the next race is going to be a points race. And you're not going to get 20-1, which is what I was hoping to get on today. So it just makes it hard in those spots to necessarily play back horses, even if they do have trouble trips.
You do kind of have the feeling with him. It's like, I wish we would have seen something out of him. I wish we just would have seen a clean trip and see if he could have got the job done. And then you could have totally said, yeah, he's okay. Or I'll just throw him out. He had everything go his way and he couldn't win. That's the worst thing. You're going to have a hang up now with him. It's like, yeah, I remember him. And I want to, so it's going to depend on the spots. We're going to have to get some easier spots for a lot of those runners.
Magic, any thoughts? Oh, great. You're muted.
Yeah, I agree, Magic.
Feel like the Withers was faster.
I didn't even look at the time. What was the time on that?
I don't think it actually was,
yet,
but it was like 145. I don't know.
This race is a mess. I mean, it was just a mess. Like, even Litigate didn't have a clean trip and ends up winning the race as well. I mean, so this is one of those where I think we're going to watch it 3 or 4 times just to be like, what the heck happened here?
Yeah, you're probably right about that. It definitely was a mess. But sometimes when a field sucks, that's kind of what happens. It's a big field. They all suck. They all just kind of glom up because nobody really has any talent, and it's just kind of a disaster.
Well, let's look at it as a positive. Maybe Cyclone Mischief gets hammered again because Litigate won this race now,
well,
right?
That is a positive.
Maybe we can bet against Cyclone Mischief some more.
Silver lining. I like it.
All right.
What's up?
What's up, Jared?
Hi, I know. Well, I was sitting here watching the live stream, and I was like, why don't I just jump on? So I was able to watch both of the preps. Those were brutal. Okay. That race there that's the worst horse to win points this year. Far and away. Like, I think most of those horses couldn't have won allowance races today.
I
think your guys' horse in the Withers Arctic, I think that's a good horse, just doesn't want to go that far.
I would say because of the trainer, Hit Show might be a useful horse at some point this season.
Yeah, I mean, the question is over or under 1.5 horses we saw today make the Derby gate.
It really should be. It should be under, but the temptation of going to the Derby and somebody's got to run at it. It'll probably be over, but it should.
It seems like it could be over because I could see both the winners making it, be given who the trainers are.
Yeah.
I mean,
I still think Arctic Arrogance goes. I think he just keeps racking up these points, and he's like that horse that's like 35-1 and never should be in the Derby.
Well, what's he? He had 10, right, going into today. So he's got 18 now.
I think he had 8 going in and earned 10 today. So he's at 18.
Whatever he's got, he's right in the cusp. So he's going to run at least one more time.
Yeah.
You got to think he's able to at least rack up a couple more points in the bigger point races. So it's Linda Rice. I mean, I think she's one of those trainers that if she's got a horse that's capable of going, then why wouldn't you run him? So you might be right.
You say that, but you forget about Max Player.
Well, it's true. But
where she said no and they said we disagree, Asmussen said I'll take him. Why not?
Arctic had. I thought
he's a 16.
You only get 8 points for second. So
yeah,
okay.
So you got 16. Still though, Yeah, man, that was a brutal trip for the two, though. I was watching the two closely. We talked a lot about the two. That was my top pick, and our issue was, or my concern was, there's a lot of speed, and you're gonna get wrapped up in a pace duel here, and then he breaks last. Well, I thought, dude, if he wins because he hadn't made a nice little run, he just had to do way too much. I think the two might be a bet back, considering where he's at next time out.
He's gonna have to be in a bad race.
Huh?
He's gonna have to be in a bad race.
Well, if he's in another prep, then no. Yes, I agree. I don't know. I just wanted to jump in. I was watching those, so I just wanted to give my my thoughts.
We missed a lot. This was really an exciting.
Oh, dude, Wonder Wheel. How did she not get by? Dude, I don't know that I have ever seen a horse look better. Well, I have, but you know what I mean? Like, look better the whole race where you're just like, she's going to cruise. And I don't know if I ever thought, I never thought she was going to lose a race until she did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still not so sure. I'm positive Wonder Wheel is that good.
Okay, there's a difference though between maybe she's not that good, and you got to get by a 38-1 shot at Tampa.
That's fair.
That's so fair. I kind of agree with both of you. If it's that's the case,
I mean, everything went her way. It was a perfect trip. It was, and I kind of was listening to you guys afterward briefly, and who was it on him? On
Catherine.
her? Yeah, you said it, Halterman. He never asked her to do it. He didn't have to. It was just the way, if you just read the jockey, you're thinking this horse is about to win by 10. And just never did. So either that horse freaked, or the horse that won, or she just maybe is a little overrated as well. So
that race to me too, guys, and I don't know if you guys agree or not, but I kind of felt like they were walking in that race too. Both the stretches at Tampa, it didn't really feel like anybody was really interested in actually moving in a fast motion.
Neither one was flying home. I'll definitely agree there. It was not. We weren't seeing any 11-4 final quarters or final furlongs.
No, so I kind of agree, Jared. It's maybe the 5 ran her eyeballs out, and we'll have to watch it back. But at the other time, it didn't feel like a King Guillermo type performance at Tampa that day, where you weren't really going to get him. He just flew. This one was she's kind of just right there to get past, and we don't want to do it, is how it felt like to me.
Yeah, that was not good. I'm seeing all the comments over here, guys. Chiefs, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. And, truth exposed, the queen, I should say, of bad takes. So I'll be ready to follow back.
The queen of bad takes. That's not very nice.
I know someone will be watching blinkers off if the Eagles win the Super Bowl on Thursday.
You mean when the Eagles win the Super Bowl?
Hey-o.
That's some bad karma right there from Jared. I don't know if I'd be doing that.
Can be worse. Have you guys seen all the the jinxes, any team that's ever dressed up the Rocky statue in Philly has gotten beat by Philly, and so all these Philly fans, Travis Kelce said on the show, don't do it, don't. So all these Philly fans have been dressing up the Rocky statue in Chiefs gear and then taking pictures with it, pretending it's Chiefs. It's the weirdest thing. They're trying to jinx their own. They're trying to make the Chiefs jinx it, but in reality, they might be jinxing themselves. So super strange.
The plot thickens.
Anyways, just saw the Risen Starfield. That's maybe we finally can talk about some good racing next week. So,
we'll see. I didn't think it looked that good,
dude. You got, Victory Formation in there. Tappett's Conquest is gonna take another stab at it. Terminally is pretty decent. Who's the other one? Curly Jack.
First name used was good, and then after that, your argument kind of fell apart.
Yeah, It's not like a save the day type race. Let's put it that way. It's better than what we saw this weekend. So we do have something to look forward to. Plus, you've got the Hoosier Philly race. That Rachel Alexandra, that actually does get exciting. Like that looks good.
Yeah, it's that she's definitely happy about what happened today.
Yes.
All right, boys. And what's you guys? What races are you guys going to stay on for?
That was it.
Oh, well, Dixie Belle's about to go off, so I didn't know if you were going to watch that or not.
We do have a lot coming up, though. Got Dudes Who Bet Daily tomorrow, noon Eastern for Super Bowl edition. We've got Magic Mike Show on Monday. We've got Dudes Who Bet Sports on Monday. We've got Blinkers Off, Dudes Who Bet Sports, and Magic Mike on Thursday. And we'll be back next week as well for another live show on Saturday talking about the preps.
That's right. We got
Good
we
plugs,
do have
good
now.
plugs.
There's another prep coming, the El Camino Real Derby. Don't forget about that. We won't be live for it, but it is going to happen today. Maybe we'll see a standout star in that race.
Couldn't even say it with a straight face, could you? All right, Dixie Belle. Aaron, who's your top pick here?
I picked Key of Life on top, so we'll see what happens with that one. Hopefully she returns to her top effort. Lost last time out, but lost to a really, really nice horse who won the Forward Gal last weekend. So don't hold a lot against her for that one.
Mike, what about you?
Oh, I'll go with Stone Silent here. Give me Sadler and Vasquez.
Jared?
Yep, I agree. I'm excited about this horse. I mean, the logic you want to pick the 3, but this 4 off that debut. Of course, I hadn't seen her in a while, but that was a really nice performance. We got a big number that day, so Sadler bringing her all the way out here for this race is interesting. So yeah, I like the 4.
I'm going to go with Aaron at the Key of Life. Flavien Prat coming out to ride this horse. It's not like he's going to win anything in Santa Anita, right? So you might as well come out here and see what you can do. Classy Bridget, nobody picked her. She's an interesting 1-1-2 straight. Had 2 seconds before that. Aaron, what'd you think about Classy Bridget?
I do like Classy Bridget, as you say there, Magic. I do like that horse a bit. I don't know that. Let me see the odds real quick. Let's see where she's at. She's 5-1. I think she's worth the play at 5-1. Asmussen's horse twirled at 7-1. Those are your 2 decent priced horses. I think have a shot. But yeah, I would take Classy Bridget as a long shot.
All right. Well, we still got 5 minutes to go. I don't want to sit here and kill 5 minutes of more time. So if you're playing, good luck. Those are our picks for the Dixie Belle Stakes at Oaklawn Park. Like Mike said, you can catch us every day of the week. Subscribe to youtube.com/racingdudes. Make sure you check out all the replays. We're loading them up as soon as we can. Got lots of the maiden wins from today going up on the channel as well. But for Mike, Aaron, and Jared, I'm Magic. We'll see you back here next time for Dudes Who Bet Daily's Super Bowl bets. Jared, good luck to your Eagles. Not betting them, but good luck anyways. Maybe that's a good sign for you. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for joining us.